Hello. Hi. Patty's here already. Look. Oh, and Heather. Hello, Patty. Um, hello, Heather. And Patty and Heather say hello to each other. Whoop whoop. I hope this microphone's in the right spot. Sometimes I get passionate and I lean forward and it sounds really too loud. Okay. But I like to have it out of screen as much as possible. Oh my gosh. Welcome to the end of August. Yes, our August Q&A live stream is here. Can you believe that? Wow. This weekend is Labor Day in the United States. A lot of people think of Labor Day as like the New Year's. So, wow. Hello, Heather. Before we get totally started and everyone comes on in, I want to give you a couple of resources. Let's start here at the top. Obviously, I want you to go to propetphotog.com for all the different resources. Okay, I've got courses, I've got downloads, I've got Canva templates. You can schedule a one-to-one with me there. Pretty soon I'll be opening back up a membership community center. It's going to be restructured. It's pretty cool. I've already had some meetings about it. So make sure to check all that out. If you are not part of the private Facebook group, here it is. There's also a Facebook page now. I don't know if I have that. Oh, yeah. Just look for Pro Pet Photog. And then the group is also here, bit.ly, Pro Pet Photog FB Facebook for the closed group. And then we have the public page now too. So we've got that. Instagram, which is kind of quiet right now, but I'm working on that. If you want to contact me directly, you can go to Monique at propetphotog.com. So I just wanted to get some of that housekeeping out of the way right away, especially for replay viewers. Hello, replay viewers as well. And awesome, huge thanks to the people who are here. Hello, Dasam. Senior Yaxon. Hola. Yes, I think I watched part of your video. I just got back into town. Oh, let me make that banner go away. Yesterday afternoon. I can't remember. We took a big road trip from up here down into Arizona, dropping Steve's youngest off at college. Yes, so we did a big loop road trip, which was really fun, but we were gone for almost a whole week. So I am back now. And it's great to see all of your icons and your comments coming up here. I'm so excited to see everyone. Woo! You've had some challenges. Oh, have I missed that in the Facebook group? Hold on, it's like 90 degrees out and my air conditioning is keeping up, but sometimes I need to turn on my little fan. So that's what I'm gonna do. Steve is off running errands, and one of them is going to the grocery store, or else I'd have my like little iced coffee or chai here. So we've got that going on, but I've got my water. Don't you worry. So everyone's saying hi. I love that about all of you. You are wonderful. If I've missed anything over in the Facebook group or the page, please fill me in. I don't want to miss any of your questions, comments, concerns. Do remember that right here on YouTube is a public forum. So this is where we can talk about Q&A in a public setting. In the private Facebook group, we can be a little bit more private, but it's still a Facebook group. So remember that. So I'd love to chat with y'all. Patty says, send your Z72 to Nikon. Warranty issues. Oh no. Oh, Frank just got, I don't remember the Z762, Z62. I don't know. And Frank got a new Nikon mirrorless and he's loving it. It's doing great so far, but I'm so frustrated for you. My goodness. Well, are they going to replace it? Are you doing something else? Oh no. One of the Nikons that I had back in the day, the 6, does that make sense? 66, whatever. Many moons ago, it had warranty issues and I had to replace it like 2 times before I got one that really worked. So they will work with you on that. It's just extremely frustrating, especially going into the fall, right? I do want to put a plug out here for Senior Yaxon because he's got a YouTube channel So just click his little face there and go to his channel and subscribe because he posts on there too. I love your new little set. Looks like you've made an actual YouTube set, which is fun. And you were talking about the Tamron lens, a Tamron wide angle, I believe, on your last video. So if y'all are interested in a Tamron lens for a crop sensor camera, among other things, dad jokes, of course, Senior Yaxon's got you covered. All right. And a lot of you are in the Facebook group, so I appreciate that. And I hope you're getting some value out of that group and just making some friends and things. It's, pet photographers, we're our own whole thing out here on the internet, right? So we need some solidarity between us all. Yeah, okay, we saw that. All right. I don't know if they're going to replace it yet. Still waiting. Customer service said it's fixable. Oh, you've had a lot of technical challenges here, especially with your monolight and your strobes. Yes, and your software and your hardware, it feels like, oh my gosh. Yes, I remember them saying that with my Nikon too. Like they said, no, it's just probably the sensor. I think I ended up just getting the whole thing replaced twice in the first couple of months I had it. That was a whole separate issue, but they should come through for you. Oh, my paws are crossed for you, Patty. Wow. I don't know what you're doing without a big camera. Oh, you have your old one, I think. You still have your previous camera. So that's you're smarter than me because I usually sell my gear almost right away. Although I do have one of the Sonys that I never use. We took it as a backup just because Steve's like, we got to keep it as a backup because we both do photography on the Cattail Chronicles channel too, and that whole brand. But we didn't use it on this trip, and I haven't used it in months. So I'd love to sell that. Your living room is full of lights and stuff, Senior Jackson says. Oh, goodness gracious. Yes, I bet. I am just sitting in, my green room. I don't know if I even at the top of this, like, hey, Monique here, Silver Paw Studio and Pro Pet Photog here in the green room. I've got 2 IKEA lights up here with the globes, and then I've got my lamp there, and they all have Alexa Hue lights in them, so I can dim them, or Philips Hue that I put through the blah blah blah, and so I can adjust all of these lights. And my above light is also dimmable, so I do have this all set up for live streaming like this and Zoom calls and whatnot. So I get the feeling, but I'm glad I can have it in my office. That would taking over the living room's rough, but it looked really nice, I must say. You do sell the Nikon D10 with the 50 and 85. Whew, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Yikes. Okay, so this is our monthly kind of chit chat, say hi, and AMA style Q&A. Ask me anything, questions, and answers. I have owned my pet photography studio here in Colorado for 7 years now, portrait photography for 10 or 12 or something like that. So volunteer efforts, different gear, ask me all of these different kinds of things. I am here for you. And I love these. Also, business. There is not enough, in my opinion, portrait photography business, and then a level deeper is pet portrait photography business content here on YouTube and all around, really. So there's not very much of that. And I know it's something I search for a lot. And so if it's something you're searching for, whether it's marketing, talking to clients, pricing, setting up a studio, all these different things, we could talk about those subjects as well, and volunteering. So I'm open to all of that kind of thing because I want to give back to you, and there's not that many resources out there. What are you going to do? I do want to, y'all are my super fans here, let you know that at the top of this broadcast, I did say I've got some things in the works for the community center membership over on Pro Pet Photog, and it's going to be completely redesigned. I'm extremely excited about this. I think you are all going to love it. I have things planned, actually. So my membership, I just experimented with on that site, that it was more of an open Q&A, and I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to have some projects and some subjects every month. And you'll get one-to-one with me probably twice a month. So if you've thought about joining the membership, it is closed right now. I do not have it open on propetphotog.com, but in December, I plan to open it back up and get busy in there as of January and have a very special guest coming in. I'm very excited for her, that I'm able to hire her to come on for the very first presentation in there. You're going to love it. She's amazing. So she'll be the first presenter, and we'll have some guests throughout the year. Mostly it'll be things that I run. So that's kind of all I'm going to say right now. I do have a lot planned though, and I really want you to be able to use that as a resource in 2023. All right, what do we got? Heather, your village hall will allow dogs to do photography for $15 for the first hour and $7.50 each hour after that. Oh, so like you can rent the space. Is that what you're saying? That would be, oh my gosh, that's really inexpensive. Well, I don't know. Maybe not conversion. Is that affordable in your area? 15 pounds, I'm thinking dollars. Geez, that sounds really, really affordable. That would be so great. Patty, question. I have 30 images to do a sample album, but I'm going back and forth between 10 to 15 spreads. I'm leaning towards 10. 10. I can tell you, I have done, most of mine are 20 pages, so 10 page full spreads. The way I do it, I don't think I have one here. All of mine are at the studio, but the very first page of the albums I design there's a one page on the right, and then you open up to 10 spreads, and then the last page is one page on the left. So it ends up being 10 full spreads plus the first page and the last page. So 30 is a great amount of images for that many spreads. Kind of depends on how big the books are too. So like my albums are pretty small. I have like brag book 5x5 and a little bit bigger 8x8. I can do 12s, but they seem a little big for most of my clients, like a little too much. They want the brag book or something for the coffee table smaller. So 30 to 25 to 35 is what I always tell my clients for those size albums. So I find that's really easy. And most album companies, that's their base price is 10 spreads. And then I do offer people that have just so many that they want that we can add on pages for a fee. So if they want a couple more spreads, absolutely. So when we're trying to narrow down what images they want, sometimes I'll say, listen, you've got 40. All we have to do is add 2 more spreads, something like that. And it only costs you X amount of dollars. I don't remember what my extra spreads cost is. So everyone's like, oh, okay, that's easy. But it's nice to get it down to that 30 and 10 page spreads for me has been awesome. 15, you really have to make sure you have a lot of variety, unless you plan on doing one image per page or one image per spread, even if you really want just one focal image. But most people are going to want 2 or 3 per page. You have to have a lot of images to narrow it down, because usually people narrow it down to a third or a half of their images for an album. And that's what happens all the time. I'm going to tangent here for just a second. I'll get to the rest of the questions here. A lot of times what happens during my client sessions, let's say it's one dog, and we have, depending on how much locations and outfit changes or whatever, there could be 60 to 80 images, 60 maybe if it's just one dog. And a lot of times people are really good about cutting that down in half. So then you have 30. And by the time we do that in my Pro Select program, I say, this is a perfect amount for an album. Do you want to just order an album? And sometimes people go, oh yeah, I don't want to give up any of these. So yes, let's make an album. And I charge the album separate from the digitals. So that's just a little side note. A lot of people can cull down their session to about half of what you're showing them. And usually it's perfect for a 10-page spread, in my opinion, my experience anyway. Does that help? And it's cheaper for you. It's cheaper for you to offer these 10-page spreads. You have to have a lot of variety to make 15, honestly. Yeah. Ooh, that is a good deal, Heather. Have you used it before for the studio space I'm talking about? Yeah. Bev Kaylee's here. Hello. Welcome. Becky Ray. Sorry. Hi from New Zealand, right? NZ. When talking about 10 spreads, what sort of selection of images do you do, as I am lost for inspiration? I like outdoor shoots. Oh, okay. Oh, and Patty says it helps a lot. Okay. So that's I may have already answered that, Becky, but really it's let's say I have one dog and I'm on location outdoors, like you're saying, and I have one area that, okay, we're in a meadow, one area we're by the lake, and one area we're in the woods, and I have tight, middle, wide, epic, creative. I have all of my different shots from each of those. So it's a matter of showing them all these images. We have several from each location because you have different layouts and expressions and maybe different bandanas, things like that. It usually culls down to about half of what you show them for a 10-page spread, in my opinion. But I also tend to not just do one image, one image. If that's the kind of book you want to do, then that's fine. But I do more of a layout. I'm trying to think if I can do a screen share with you with a program that I already have on here. I just need to move this screen a little bit and I can show you one of my stomped albums. I think. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this. No, that's a graduation. That is not. Hold on. I'm just going to look through over to my other screen over here because I do believe I have one of my most recent clients who did an album. Now, she had 3 dogs in it, so there was a lot more images to go through for sure. Yeah, I don't see it right here. Trying to think. Here's one. There's one just happens to be on my desktop. Okay, so let me see if I can possibly share this with you. Share a screen. Let's go over here. Let's see if we can do this. I don't know. All right. So here you can see this book. This is the very first page, that entry page. So that is the page. I use Fineo, Finao, something like that here in the States. And they have an option whether you want the first page on the left or the right. And so I have this on the right, and that's the entry page. Then this is a 2-page spread. This is a full spread. Okay. And this is a full spread. And then this is where you get this multiple images. So you got 3 on this page, and you got 3 on this page. So I have the first dog, the second dog, right? So when I'm laying this out, I typically have, well, I've bounced all the way through there, haven't I? I have one of their favorite images in the front. Then I have group images of just the dogs. Hope you all can see this okay. Then we have this is the feature page for this particular dog. This is the feature page for this particular dog. And these are all from their favorites that they've already chosen at the sales meeting with my Pro Select or whatever program you have. Here's another feature page of this particular dog. And they loved this setup. So we did another feature page of this dog, and then another feature page of this dog. We have to show both of his good sides, right? And then her with this dog and her with the dog and the family with the dog. And then this is the last page of the book. So that's how I laid that out for a studio session. If I could, let me go out of screen sharing. Becky, is this helping you? I know that's not an outdoor session and that's what you wanted to see. Let me see if I can find any others that just happen to be roaming around my desktop, because my program that I design these in stores them on the desktop. And then I have to remember to put them in their folder, which I keep forgetting to do. Super helpful. Yay. Oh, good, good, good. Okay, I did find another one. This is 2 dogs outside. Would you like to see that too, Becky? Oh, thank you. Yeah. So I'm just gonna say that you do want to see it. Let me go back to here. I'm gonna remove that. I wanna share. I'm gonna stop screen sharing and then start screen sharing. Boop-a-doop. Let's do this one. I think you should be able to see this now. Oh, yes, you do want to? Okay. So this was 2 little dogs outside. So let's enlarge these. So you could see our opening page. As soon as you open the album, bam, here's one of their favorite images of everybody. So in this case, it was 2 dogs. Let's see if I can make this any bigger for y'all. There we go. So we had 2 dogs for this one. And then this was the full spread. So I don't remember what size books you had, but say this was a 5 by 5. So this would be 5 by 10 spread. I like to have the white edges. You could do full bleed if you want, as long as there is enough room for wiggle in the printing process. So we have that one. And then we have a feature page of this dog. And then we have a feature page of this dog. And then we have so that was action and action, right? So we had the action and a portrait, action, and then action for this dog. And then the two dogs, her very favorite action or like fun, silly faces. So we put those side by side. Now, she didn't help with the design. I do not design these in front of people. I know that the program will let me do that, but I don't want to. I go home, I design these, I send them the proof. Here's everybody. She loved these images, so we put them in here. You can kind of see the layout idea here. Here's like the two of them together, and then they're individual side by side or up and down. This was kind of a funny one, everyone looking into the pond. And then the very last image. So those are some ideas. Those are two of the albums most recently. I wish I could find that other one. I don't. It's probably in her folder buried. So that is how I lay out albums. I do use Album Stomp, and it has album proofer, PRUFR or something. I don't know. I've done a video about it. There is a video on the channel somewhere here that talks about how I design albums and what products I use for that. And it's actually really fast. I put it off for so long, but once I pull all the images into like the little timeline, it looks like it's easy to put them in there. You start to see this like, okay, both dogs together, feature page spread of this dog, feature spread of this dog, and then both dogs together. And then, so you'll get a feel for how you always kind of put these together. And then the album proofer that's attached to that just sends an email, and then they look through it. They give you any notes, which usually they don't. And then you're like, okay, we're good. So that's it. Yeah. They're way easier to make than you think. And I avoided it for such a long time, but it's a good product to have. You check with the White House custom color, and you can do a layout and send a link to the customer without the White House customer on the link, so customer can approve layout. Oh, okay. So I'm going to skip the software. I check with White House. Yeah, that's I think it's fairly a new thing. So I think that's really cool of them. I'm so glad they're doing that, and it might have a little bit more flexibility in the way they do it. So that sounds really good. I would love to hear how that works for you when you do your sample. I'd love to know what you thought of the experience of using their layout software. That'd be really nice, because like I use White House, but I don't use it for albums. I don't remember why. I think Fineo, I just like the price and the options. So that's what I did there. Ooh, we've talked a lot about albums. How fun is that? I wish I had one here to share with you. I made sure I delivered almost everybody's orders before I left on my trip last week. So they all have been dispersed at this point. Appreciate you sharing this. I'm feeling inspired to go out and shoot and create an album, and it's a beautiful spring day there. Yes. Oh my gosh. That would be wonderful. You can't go wrong. Like, you could just make it of your own dog, right? That's one of my sample albums. My little brag book album is photos of Bailey I took at the studio. So I actually need to get another sample of the bigger one. I just keep deciding like, which client album should I get? That last one would probably be good because it has a little bit of people in it, but it's mostly the dogs. So I want people to envision their dogs and their families in these. So it's easier when it's just dogs, I think, but I could be wrong. The sample album I have for the 8x8 now is a family. So there you go. I just need to do it, get a new sample album. So that needs to happen for my studio. There's always something. Oh my goodness. What are you working on? Let's see. Oh gosh. How do you wrap your wall art for delivery to your clients? My goodness. I think about this a lot. So what I have at this point, if it's 11 by 14 or smaller, let's see. I have bags, brown craft bags with a banner that has like little black paw prints on them that I got from Amazon, just like a box of them. So they hold good sized things. 11 by 14 or smaller. I have boxes that I had made 2.5 years ago at Imaging. There's a company that will foil stamp your logo on these boxes. So I'm still working through those from 2.5 years ago because, 2020, blah, 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 blah. And so those will fit my mounted prints. So I don't sell floppy prints. I sell the mounted prints, which I sell quite a few of. And so I have paw print tissue paper that I line the boxes and I put those in. And so those go in the bag. Now, if it's bigger, let's say, I gotta decline that call. Hold on. If it's a little bit bigger, what I did recently was I just double wrapped it with the, they come with kind of a foam protector, like a sheet of foam. Does that make sense? Anyway, it does from White House. So you put the foam around it and then I wrap it in the paw print tissue paper as well. If it's even bigger, honestly, Patty, I keep it in the box. White House sends such nice boxes, and so do my other labs, RT Couture, which I use for canvases. I just take all of the shipping labels off, make sure all the shipping labels are out of there and the return authorization sticker and all that, and then put it back in the box. Oftentimes people aren't going to go home and hang them up immediately. And I really want them to be protected, especially like in the car. Sometimes people come to the studio to pick up their art with their dogs, and I will just often carry it out for them and put it in their car. But between the time that they get it home and put it on the wall, time can pass and their dogs and their cats can get to it and everything. So I actually often keep them in the shipping box. Now, is this the prettiest delivery method? No, it's not. But when you start looking at these big custom bags and doing all the wrapping, it's adding so much cost to everything. I just don't feel great about that right now. I probably could do something pretty, and I also don't want to duplicate packaging in a wasteful way. And so I think people are really cognizant of as well. So I don't want to unwrap it just to wrap it in something else. That seems wasteful. So I've had a lot of clients when I deliver their order in a bag, they take it out and give me back the bag. So they want to recycle it. So I try to keep kind of both those things in mind. I want to keep the art safe, and I want to not repackage at a really high expense. Now, the boxes that I had custom made with my foil stamp, which also I don't have here, I've shown them on videos before. Those have, my logo foil stamped on them. Those are 8 by 10, 11 by 14, and my mounted prints, 3 or 4 can fit in there. And a lot of times those are great because they're going to give those as gifts. And so I will even send additional boxes. If on my notes, when they're doing their sales meeting, they're like, okay, I want one for Aunt Peggy and I want one for my mom and I want one for, my sister. If they tell me, I'm writing people down. I write down who is getting these, and then I offer extra boxes, especially coming into this fourth quarter with the holidays. I will give them extra boxes. They just have to put a ribbon on them or wrap them, and then it's still protected. So the littler prints, they often are going to mail to someone or give to someone as gifts. And so that's why I do some of those. And they don't come in the nicest packaging from White House for some of the littler mounted prints and like the I'm looking at a bamboo block right now that I'm going to have to just kind of wrap in tissue paper because it won't fit in one of those boxes. But if I go to Imaging this year, I'll go to those booths again and see what they have for packaging. I'll show you this one. So this is like an 8 by 10 bamboo block. So it's a little thicker than the boxes that I use. So this I'll keep in the plastic wrapping. I'll put some of the padding around it that I have. I save that. And then I'll put more tissue paper around it. And then I'll put it in one of those bags. So I feel really good that none of the corners are going to get nicked on the way home. If this had come in a small box, I would just put it back in that box. Does that help? What do you package, or what do you plan to package your prints in? Do you have an idea for that? I know for the bigger wall art, it's so tricky. I think that's why some portrait photographers, they install. They'll just say, include it in your orders. We're going to come to your house because they've seen maybe the wall in a picture or something, and they put it in Pro Select and it goes exactly here. That they will just take it and install it for them. So I haven't gone to that extent, partly because I don't feel like I'm very good at hanging. I mean, look at the wall behind me. Okay, part of that's just my wonky webcam, but I do not wanna put holes in somebody's house. I don't wanna be standing on their ladders, none of that. So I'm just not that person who's gonna do that. And I'm not as precise. So we just hung up a big display at a coffee shop. Emmy went with me, Steve's daughter, before she went to college. So she went with me and helped me put this big display up at the coffee shop. And we had rulers, we were measuring, it was okay, but it kinda gets to the point where people at the table over there were like, "Okay, just a little higher." I'm like, "Okay." And then, kinda stick it to the wall. Oh gosh. So, I wouldn't be great going into people's homes. Don't have any idea. I've been stumped on that. No. I know, right? I know it's so hard, Patty. Ugh. And I don't do like this, this is 16 by 20, and I do a fair number of those and smaller. Uh, Maybe I just don't push the largest wall art, but I've had a fair amount of 20 by 30s, things like that. And so I'm constantly thinking of that. And the best I've come up with is keep it in the box it was shipped in and just take all of the labels off. It doesn't look as pretty. What? Is there a fly in here? Yes. Okay. Sorry about that. That was weird. It doesn't look as pretty, but that's all I can come up with right now. I know. For the larger stuff, put it back in the box. I know. I suppose you can put a bow on there or something. That would be cute. I do present it. So when they come to the studio or I take it to someone's house, I go in, we set it on a table, we open it up, they get a chance to see everything. Matter of fact, I did that earlier this year, I think, maybe February. I took it to someone's house and it was one of these bamboo blocks. And I had checked it, I thought, but maybe not in the right light. And she saw like one corner was a little damaged. And I was mortified. I'm like, oh my gosh, this passed my inspection. I'm just being transparent with you. You're going to miss things sometimes. And she saw it. And I was like, oh, this is not good. I'm taking it with me. I'm going to make the lab reprint it and I will come back in a week or two. As soon as it gets here and passes another stringent inspection, then I hand delivered that to her. Oh, so that was embarrassing. But I do, when I deliver or they pick up, I make sure I open it and they see everything. And it's kind of a fun event. So they really like that. You could rack the box. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking too. Like you could get pretty inexpensive, just, paw print gift wrapping or whatever your color your studio is. Like if I want to get this nice light blue that I love, I can just get blue, plain blue wrapping paper, right? And put a paw print bow on it. I think that would be beautiful. That would actually be really pretty. Now I'm thinking about it. Hmm. Let us know what you decide though. I feel like that's one of those evolving things that goes along with business as well. Like we open our doors and then we come up with something and we find a solution. Then we come up with something else and we find a solution. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, I haven't come up with the best, but no one's complained about it. I don't know why if they would, but I've been trying. I've not been doing so well, but we have a little dog treat bakery very close to my house. And so I go in there every once in a while and get these little Colorado cookies, doggy cookies. And so I have like little tiny treat bags, little paper bags that I put those in too for the dogs. And they're just really so enamored with that they're happy with it. And I try to give them a little card as well. So I need to streamline that a little bit better, but that usually helps too when you have a little something wrapped up cute, little treats for the dogs and a card, something like that. So that's an idea as well. Like, don't look at this brown box. I picture like museums. When museums get works of art delivered, they're in crates and boxes and things like that, whatever keeps them safe. So, yeah, let me know what you come up with, Patty. I'd be interested. What other questions we got going on here? Ooh, what else do I need to tell you? Um, do I have anything coming up? I'm going to be starting posting more on Instagram and the podcast with the summer with Emmy here. Spending the summer was so wonderful that she was able to do that, that I really let some of those things go because those are my, you know, like things that didn't impact my studio as much, but I did do a lot of sessions for this book project I'm working on. So most of my summer was just taken up with shooting the sessions and doing the sales meeting and then order those and spending time with Emmy. And then I don't know what happened to the rest of the summer. Honestly, I just don't even know. So some of that stuff has fallen by the wayside. And I'm one of those people that when September hits, I had, kids, for 25 years. And September was always like this new beginning. And so that is for me too. So again, I'll be working all the stuff for Pro Pet Photog, for our membership. I call it the Community Center. And for all of you, give me your input on, I didn't mean to say this. If you were to join a membership, what is a reasonable price point for you? My feeling is that many of the people who will benefit from this are people who maybe they have already a job and this is something they're trying to put together on the weekends or evenings. Maybe you're a little bit older like me and you've got a little experience with some of the camera functions, things like that, but you want to do more, with the business end. So, kind of thinking about our demographics right here, and especially for the people just in their first like 3 years. 3 to maybe 5 years. It's open to everyone, though. Obviously, the membership's open to everyone, but it's not advanced stuff. So don't worry about that. If you were to join a membership, what would you feel comfortable paying for that? So my membership before had 2 levels. There was a $49 a month US dollars, and then I think the other one was $69, and the upper one included a one-to-one with me every month. So I'm just curious. Oh, my comments went away. What have I done here? Let's hide that. Okay. And you don't have to say it here. You can always message me if you're like, I would love to join that, but I don't want to put much more on my plate right now. So I'm trying to make it where it's very digestible and very doable. I'm not going to fire hose you with a bunch of things in this membership. One of the things I want to do is like a single focus, one concept workshops. So it'll be very doable, but very valuable. So that's what I'm trying to get to. I didn't word that very well. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I can't answer the question. I don't have steady income. Yeah. So the things I can purchase one-off, so to speak, appeal to me. Okay, cool. Good to know. Good to know. And some of the content that I will put in there will be converted into like mini courses. So that could be something that would be beneficial to you too. You can kind of pick and choose which ones you like throughout the year. Surprisingly, I never knew much about custom logo printed shipping boxes. Any tips in finding a good priced package them? Oh, okay. Anyone who wants to answer the membership thing, feel free. So, Senior Yaxon, if you're able to go to some of the conferences, like I'm pretty sure, I don't know, Nashville. Ooh, the hotel in Nashville they do for imaging is pretty expensive. It's pretty costly. So we'll see. But if you go to somewhere with a big expo, they will usually be at least 2. Now, Tyndall, I think is the name of it. Oh gosh, I don't know if I'm spelling that right. I put it in the chat. Tyndall is one of the packaging companies, and then there's another one that's really nice out of Portland, I think. I think it's Rice Studio Supply. Those are a couple places. Tyndall, they had show specials, which was really nice. So they would only charge this much. At the time, it was like, I don't know, $50 to keep my logo on file, which I've since changed. So that's a bummer, but it's not that much different. They will charge you a setup fee and then they just have your logo in there. So you can put it on bags, you can put it on boxes. I can't remember whatever presentation things that they have. So what I'll do is maybe I will open a new Chrome window. Maybe not right on top of you. I would like to see you. And then they had like a show discount, which was really great too. Tyndall Photographic. So I was able to get like a bulk of these boxes for a lot less money. And I'm pretty good at these shows at not spending much money. I am. I don't wanna buy things that I'm not gonna use, and these boxes I bought 2.5 years ago, I still have some partly because, again, the 2020 debacle. So I didn't have that much cards. But if you want to, let's do a little screen share again. Okay, okay. Let's see, share a screen, and we're gonna go over to here. We are going to look at this. This is Tyndale Photographic. So here we go. Looks like you could even get USB sticks. Now, keep in mind, a lot of these companies cater to wedding photographers quite a bit too. But folios, that's the other thing. You can get these folios custom. That's, seniors are a big one for that. All these beautiful bags. So starting at $2 when you buy 10. So they're really not in very expensive, I don't think. And they even have like cool different oh gosh, the little papers that go in there, but I find I can just get paw print ones from Amazon. Here's the boxes. You can get all these different size boxes. You can get them with or without ribbons. I don't get them with the ribbons. I think I did once. They were fine. Or like these elasticy things. So you can get them very pretty. You can also just get these boxes in bulk with no personalization, just from all kinds of places. You can look on Amazon or any of those places that sell these pretty packaging. These are just where you can get them already stamped or embossed with your studio information, which I think is convenient. For me, that's just real convenient. So I would say check out something like this and see all these different colors you can get, which is really nice. I had these gray ones for a while, kind of silver to go with Silver Paw Studio. Then I decided I was too monochrome. So then I went with the blue. But you can get these nice boxes if you sell USB sticks, little wallets. You can get nice wood one. I mean, you can go on and on, right? Patty, I think they even have, which I thought was too expensive, like really big bags. Like here's a frame bags. Well, maybe they're not that much. So $3 for this size bag here. That's the starting at, of course, starting at. So these are, where's the size? Dimensions. Here we go. So if you were selling really big, let's say you're doing the biggest that they have on here, 30 by 40 with a 3-inch frame or a 36 by 46 canvas, they have bags that will go to that size. So if we said you wanted that really big size, and I don't know, let's say chocolate, I don't know, let's say 20. All right. You have a volume discount. So it's $145 for 20 of these bags, which to me sounds a little spendy. But if someone's buying that size framed portrait, like you build that into the cost, that's what I think anyway. And you can get all this kind of stuff, all these kind of things over at Tyndale, Rice Studio. Yeah, I think they're still in business. I don't know because I have not checked since I haven't been to imaging. So again, same idea. They do all the different packaging as well. Really, really pretty. Like if you can little slip-in cases, gold and silver engraving. You can have prints and the stick or an album box. Album boxes are nice. My studio comes with a nice box that I get my albums from. It just doesn't have this embossing here. So Rice Studio Supply and whatnot. There we go. All right. So there's a couple places. Was that helpful? I hope so. I'm going to do the stop sharing, I guess. There we go. I hope that was helpful. Uh-oh. I haven't seen any more comments come in, but it looks like you're all still there. I have a lot of videos that you're welcome. I have a lot of videos that I have recorded. And so I need to sift through them and see which things. One video Frank and I filmed a week or so ago, right before my trip. And it was about how things are going now that he's been assisting all year at the studio over, I think we decided about 25 different sessions him and I have done together. So we talked about things that we like, things that we didn't like, and stuff like that of our partnership that we've been doing this year. So I've got that video coming up soon. I have a video where I photographed a couple and their dog at this place called Devil's Backbone, and all of the things that I was safety concerns I had, and how we overcame those, because this is kind of a deserty area and there's a lot of things to worry about there. Anyway, so I have that as a video coming up soon. Um, Gosh, I sometimes get it mixed up with my other channel. So my other channel, I've got tons of content filmed as well, which is I should show you that real quick. If you're into nature, wildlife, landscape photography, my husband and I have Cattail Chronicles YouTube channel. We also talk a lot about gear over there. So if that's something interesting to you, check that out. But let me see what else I've got. Yes. So also I photographed some dogs for the local shelter for the comedy show that they're putting on this fall, their fundraiser, and they let me film that. And so I have a couple dogs in the studio that we filmed recently. Almost forgot about that. I think that's probably, I have a variety of other things, but they're not fully put together things right now. So those are a couple things I've got coming up. If you all have things that you want to see, let me know. Okay. Oh, competitions. Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay. So yes, I have not filmed it yet, Patty, but I have a script started, and I'm glad you said something because it really got me thinking about other things I wanted to add to that. So I will definitely be sitting down at the studio soon. I know I keep saying that, to talk about competitions versus and contests. So thank you for that reminder. That will be on the list for this year too. Definitely need to talk about that. Thank you. Dana, haven't been to a live for a long time. Welcome. We had family here for a month. Excited to hear about the upcoming videos. Yay. I know. We had Steve's youngest daughter, Emmy, here for the whole summer. We thought she maybe would be here for a couple weeks. And then she got here. We're like, oh, how long can you stay? And she's like, oh, I'm going to stay all summer. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So it was really, really wonderful to have Emmy here all summer. It was very chill for her, that year between high school and college, like, she could like read books and do puzzles, like books for fun and do puzzles. But I tell you, by the end of the summer, man, she was ready to go. Let's start this. Let's go. But I know what you mean, Dana. We also had finally like our wedding reception a year and a half late. I don't know how late it was. So we had some family in town, and big news 4 or 5 days ago, my newest grandson was born. Yay. So welcome to Oliver. Oliver Leo. He joins his brother Henry. So that's all exciting. That went really, really well. So we got one kid to college, one kid had a baby, and everyone's doing wonderfully. So woo! And our wedding reception. I guess it's been a busy summer and the road trip. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Oh my God, he's a doll. She did a little video chat with me a couple hours ago, and they're doing so good. I'm so glad. Yeah. And everyone's getting along. Like my daughter has 2 dogs and a cat and a toddler. And so with all that going on, everyone's adjusting really well. It's only been a few days, but that's okay. Oh my goodness. So that's kind of how my summer's been going. I do have another thing that I'm working on here. And if it works out, thank you, Senior Yaxon. And if it works out, I will be doing like a whole series about this particular project, an ongoing, like almost a year, probably 6 months to a year series on YouTube. But I can't really tell you anything about it yet because I don't know if I'm going to move forward with it. So there's that. And I do want to share with you like the book project I've been working on, but I don't know if she still offers the course. So she's moved platforms with the course that I was taking to help me with this huge book project, which has been so amazing, so wonderful. I love it, but I don't know if she has the course open anymore. So I will let you know on that because I think it's a great project for your studio. Dana, I'm so impressed that you did all that and worked on your book and videos. Oh my gosh. And I had COVID for a week and a half early in the summer. Oof, not great. Right after I'd gone to visit my daughter and help her get ready for the new baby. I know. I just love my projects. What can I say, Dana? Yes. Yeah, it has. I cannot even believe it's already almost September. Isn't that amazing? I have 2 people I'm meeting with tomorrow for video work. So in my studio, I offer what you all offer, pictures like this, portraits, dogs, and families. Also, any kind of commercial, like headshots or photos, things like that. But I also do video work. And so I'm meeting with 2 different people tomorrow about helping them with some video content for their organizations and their businesses. So that's pretty cool. I don't know. I've dabbled with sharing some video tips here on the channel, but they don't do very well overall. So I've kind of gone back to just really talking about photos. So I don't want to overwhelm you with video content creation for people as well. If that's something you're interested in, though, I'm happy to do that. Yeah, and I have to say, Dana, too, I'm collaborating. So my sister is doing the InDesign for the book. We're doing this shared Google Drive and all this. So she's doing the design for me, and I've hired someone to do the map illustration that goes in the book. So I'm not doing it all myself. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Yes, it's been great. Do you critique yeah. Yeah, yeah. So, Bev, I started off as a portrait photographer. I have a lot of kids, and so I'd photograph them and, did their high school pictures and their friends' high school pictures and families. At the same time, though, I was managing a veterinary practice. Um, and then things happened and I moved to Colorado. So yes, I love photographing people. One thing I'm getting back into, which I really should find out if people are okay with this, is my local camera club. We have SIGs, special interest groups, and I was the president of this club for a couple of years right before COVID. And then after COVID, it's gone to digital, like online Zoom. But some of the special interest groups have started back up in the last few months to a year, and the portrait SIG is awesome. I love going to that. The person who runs that knows a fair amount of people who come in like cosplay costumes, or we just try something different. And he has his little study made into a studio. And so if I ever get permission from everybody that's there to film one of those, it's pretty fun. But I love photographing people. Yeah. And so if you ever want to do like a one-to-one with me, let me know and I can take a look. If it's something, my critiques, Bev, so when I do a photo critique, it's from the eyes of a business. So would this sell? It's not like, would this win an award? Which it'd be great if it crossed both those things. Awesome. I think sometimes things that win awards are too costly for us to do on a continual basis for clients unless we're really have that model set up. So when you do a critique with me, I can give you ideas for posing and things that could improve the actual technique of the photography, but I can also let you know kind of what I have found sells the best and what appeals to clients the best. So that's how I work during those critiques, Bev, just so you know. Yeah. You're assisting on some video work for a dog trainer at the moment. Oh, how fun is that? Right? Oh my gosh. So jelly. That sounds so great. Busy summer. Yeah, it was. Yes, thank you. I know, me too. So our push, what we're calling this weekend in the States, it's Labor Day weekend. So it's a 3-day weekend. My sister works a regular, like her 9 to 5 plus job, but she loves doing this kind of work. She's really an artist at heart, just amazing artist. And she has taken this project on and we've been kind of putting it together. And this is, what do we call it? The final push. Like, this is it. This weekend, we're going to finish the entire design of the book and the cover. And she's going to help make some bookmarks as well that I can give out with the books. I've gotten 35 books pre-sold. I'll probably buy 10 to 20 extras to have at the book launch party in November. But the constraint right now is shipping and materials. And I changed printers last minute because the price of the other printer went up so much that I wasn't going to make any money. So at the last second, I am changing printers, which means Tuesday morning in 1 week, I need to send off the proofing to get a loose proof of that, just to make sure color accuracy, layout, nothing's bleeding off the edge, things like that. So I'm going to send that off. Our last cram, we call it last cram, is this weekend. That's what we're doing. All this holiday weekend is working on this book. And she's in a whole different state, by the way. My sister lives halfway across the country from me. So anyway, we're doing this remotely. And then Monday, I send it off for proofing and any other small adjustments. And then by the end of September, I have to have these at the printer so I can have them by early November. And so I'm hoping by the end of October, I will have a physical hardbound book in my hands that I can show everybody. It's so exciting. So, but once I get the cover done, we'll have a mock-up and I can put it in these mock-ups. Canva has added some new mock-ups where it looks like someone's actually holding the book or it's on their desk, things like that. You can make it look like the book is done and in on these products, and in these settings. So I'll be sharing those mock-ups for sure on my Silver Paw Studio page, because I will still have time for some pre-orders at that point. So check that out. And I'll try to remember to put it in our group as well. Goodness, I can talk a lot. Wow. Thank you for listening. My goodness, we have about 5 minutes left. I'm happy to answer more of your questions. I do want to respect your time, but I do have some extra time this evening. As I said, Steve went to run errands, so I got no noise in the house right now. As you're thinking about your last minute questions, I want to run through the resources one more time. ProPetPhotog.com. We have tons of free resources on there. I have courses, and in December, look for the membership to open back up. We have our closed Facebook group, ProPet Photog FB. That's at a bit.ly link. Then we have the new page. Yeah, I have an open public Facebook page now, so I'd love for you to join me there. And I'm working on getting more content on our Instagram and the podcast. Love doing the podcast, but it was difficult with extra people in the house this summer. So that's probably really no excuse, but there you go. And then anyone who wants to contact me directly, Monique at ProPetPhotog.com. You can get right into my inbox there. So we've got that as well. Let me go back to your comments. Any last minute questions? We still have 4 minutes. We do this once a month near the end of the month. So the third or fourth week of every month, we do a live free open Q&A AMA right here on the ProPet Photog YouTube page. So feel free to come to any of those. If you go to propetphotog.com, which we talked about, right at the top of that, there is a sign up for email, and you will get an email every single Friday telling you what the video of the day is. My videos post on Fridays. And then when we have these live streams coming up, you will find out Friday for the Monday before the Monday after, so 3 days later. So that is a great way to keep up with content. If you seem to miss notifications on YouTube, definitely get on that email list, because I talk about all kinds of other things on there too, and give some more behind the scenes and extra tips and all kinds of stuff there over on the newsletter as well. So be sure to sign up for that. You're out doing some birding and butterflies this morning. Ooh, calling while I'm on YouTube. Just happy I can join again. Super pumped to see what is to come. Yay. Yeah. Oh, Dana, you would love my Cattail Chronicles YouTube channel. We have all kinds of fun over there. We've recorded probably 3 videos on our road trip, just because this is amazing. This is amazing. Like when you go to these huge, amazing places out in nature, it's hard not to record videos. And also, I'm a little bit obsessed with videos. So there's that. But it's also funny to watch my husband on camera. He's slowly getting more comfortable, as some people on here follow that channel too. And they're like, oh, Steve's doing so much better after a year. We've only had that channel a year, and he's doing pretty good. We talk a lot more about gear though, bird photography, landscape, and we just go take our video cameras with us when we travel. So we have a video or 2 from when we were in Washington and Oregon. We've done Colorado down through New Mexico. This one we went to Arizona and up through Colorado. It's a fun time. Yeah. You are. Okay. Always have YouTube playing while editing. Nice. Yes. Yeah, I love doing that too. That's how I catch up on all kinds of things during photo editing. Although I have to say I'm a little bit of a cheater now, which I'll probably do a video about this, is I do have an editing service. So I do cull my images and they send them off to editing, and I do the final edit leashes just because the turnaround is so much faster if I do the final edit. Um, but they can do that too. But when I'm culling for even for this or my wildlife and nature stuff, it's so nice to have it on the second screen, right? So I've got like one screen over here and one screen here. And I do have my laptop down in here and my phone. So I really could go crazy. My husband's desk, he has a big screen and then one screen over here and one screen over here. So he could be doing all kinds of things at once. It's amazing. Senior Yaxon makes me want to move to Colorado for that cooler weather and more views. You know what? We could not believe how amazing. Now, I visited a lot of places in Colorado so far in my 10 years here, but you go up diagonal from Arizona, so let's say, Flagstaff, and kinda diagonally go up through Colorado, there is never not gonna be a good scene. You will always have something beautiful to look at. It's incredible. It's a great place to live. I'm sure you all live in really cool places too. There's only one of me, so I can only see so many. Your plan that is my plan too, to have an editor. A process of teaching your son. Oh, that is smart. If you watch Mark Smith photography, he does tons of birds, and he's very well known for his osprey photography in Florida, Mark Smith photography. For a long time, his son was the video person. I don't know if he still is, because I think they've grown and moved on, but yeah, that would be really great. My kids just have jobs in college, so they're not gonna be mine. Yeah, maybe when they retire. Of course, I'll be retired before my kids do. Well, maybe not my one daughter. She's halfway to retirement in the Coast Guard, so we'll see. She might be retiring about when I do. We shall see. I got at least another 15 years in me, everybody. Come on, right? Do you all feel like that? Like if you're 40s and 50s, like we got a lot more time ahead of us. Oh my goodness. Yes. And for the yeah. So far, you do the wildlife for fun. Samesies. Okay. So you know what I'm talking about, Dana. Yes. Same idea. Oh my goodness. It's 4:01. All right. We're going to wrap it up here, everybody. It's so great to see you. I'm so glad we could all meet up like this, and we'll see each other again next month, the end of September. Don't you worry. And so we're just going to do the ending now. I don't see any more last minute questions coming. If you do, just go over to the Facebook group and we got you over there. I'm answering questions. So is everybody else in the group. Everyone's very nice and very generous. Okay. All right. So everybody say it with me. What do we got? Any last ones? Everybody say it with me. As always, I wish you many woofs, purrs, and TREATSs. All right. Have an awesome week, and I'll see you in the Facebook group. Okay. Bye.